Hi, I'm Catherine Clemmer, psychotherapist, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about not that I've created this concept, but it's new for me of healthy arrogance, which probably sounds like a bit of an oxymoron. I mean, I think most of the time when we hear arrogance or we think of somebody as being arrogant, there's a condescension in it. And I'm better than you, or, you're stupid, fill in the fill in the blank with some kind of negative descriptor. And obviously that's not healthy. That's not helpful for interpersonal relationships. It's not helpful for human connection, which we crave. And so I'm talking about something different. Um, and it's a theme that has come up with a few of my clients recently. And it's a theme that I'm looking at in my own life right now with some things that I'm going through. And healthy arrogance, I think, is really more about self confidence. Um, there is a comparison in it, but it's not one of disdain or condescension. It's more about, at least when I say it, what I'm thinking of is it's where you can recognize in terms of growth and evolving that you may be at a different place on your journey, on your path than someone else in your life. And you're finding that there are interpersonal difficulties happening, conflicts happening, and, um, you know, ideally when we're dealing with interpersonal conflicts, we it's easy to go, oh well, this person is, being mean or accusatory, and whatever the thing may be. We can point out what's the other person fairly easily, and it's more challenging, but ideally we can also self-reflect on, okay, what in this is me, and we usually can find something, right? And the key is not to go into a shame spiral or let our inner critic start screaming at us about how awful we are and we're unlovable and nobody's going to want to connect with us and all the things that can commonly come. But to see it as an opportunity for growth. What can I learn about myself? Uh, how can I make course corrections to do it differently as I move forward in relationship with people? Do I need to be more discerning about how I talk with someone? Do I need to be more cautious about who I trust with my vulnerability? Things like that. I think the piece with the healthy arrogance is to also be able to make sure we're not picking up something that doesn't belong to us. Meaning, gosh, yeah, maybe I am a mean person. Um, or, I'm trying to think of another example. The mean person is what's been in the themes with myself and some clients recently. So let's just stick with that and trying to look at, wow, I think I am really a mean person. And that sometimes if we don't think of ourselves that way, we don't identify that way, we think of ourselves as really kind and caring and loving, there's dissonance there. And being able to separate, I have moments when I can act in a way that is mean. That's the piece of what can I learn from this? What course corrections can I make? But that I'm a mean person because this person has told me how mean I am, we don't necessarily need to pick that up. A lot of times that can be coming from the other person's own experiences. It can be something going all the way back to childhood with, um, a critical parent that they have this voice in their head and it can get triggered sometimes in real time in the present moment by people. It could be an insecurity in them, and they just don't have the self-awareness in that moment. They haven't hit that growth spurt with themselves yet. And being able to recognize and have compassion for the other person of, okay, they're not there yet, but I'm clear this isn't mine. This isn't about me. I'm further along on my path, maybe with self-awareness and growth than this person is. And it doesn't make me any better. It's not about that I'm better than, you're less than. It's just all of us as humans, if we're focused on and committed to personal growth, are always going to be moving at different paces. And at the same time, this person may not be as evolved down the path with self-awareness as me or you, but they may be way far down the path about I don't know, recognizing their triggers or um, patience, or that's one for me. I have to constantly work with myself about patience, and I can tell you there are plenty of people that are miles and miles ahead of me on their paths with patience that I am. And so the healthy arrogance is more about being able to recognize, have solidity in yourself, have confidence in yourself that no, I've done this work and I can look at myself and I don't need to pick this up. I don't need to pick this up, at least not in this way that it's being handed to me. And again, I think the key piece to make it healthy arrogance is that piece of I'm not any better. I'm just at a different place than this person is with this particular issue. Um, and it's something that when I can remember a client I've worked with recently where we talked about this, it takes a minute, right? Because you hear the word arrogance and we're so used to that having such a negative connotation of somebody, thinking they're all that in a bag of chips and better than people. And so getting clear that with healthy arrogance, it's not about being better than. It's more about being confident and clear in yourself of the work you've done, um, both in terms of trying to be in this one, since we're talking about mean, trying to be a kinder person, trying to be more empathic, trying to imagine how things may be impacting this person, and not picking up an accusation or a comment or a complaint by somebody when we know it doesn't fit. And again, that doesn't mean that we don't need to take a minute and ask ourselves, is there something in this? Is there some truth in this? Because again, if it's about being mean, I can absolutely think of plenty of examples where I have had times interacting with people that I've said or done something that clearly, when I take a step back and look at it, was mean. It's usually coming from a place of impatience or frustration or anger or something along those lines. So I hope that this was helpful. And that's all for today.